How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. I had a real nasty bout of my cold. I've been kind of dealing with it ever since last week. It kind of got insanely worse, as in like sinus infection worse, so I was actually worried I was going to delay some videos this week, but it calmed down. We're doing better. Things are looking good. So we're back. Now, I will probably still be relying on this, and I'll try not to be too sniffly, but we're going to enjoy this episode today. We're going to have fun, especially with this reveal a bit. Yes, beautiful. Someone was able to post some really great fan art of the maid outfits, which is just great. That's kind of one of the best things, is because there's so much there's been fans for so long, and there's so much just like fun content out there that you guys get to slowly drip feed it to me as I get past parts that allow it to not be spoilers anymore, which has been one of the best parts about doing this series. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. But we are going to be sneaking in by the head maid. We're going to try and contact the queen before the crap hits the fan. Naturally, this isn't going to go well, but I can at least hope for the best, right? We've managed to get in. The dinner party was interesting. Abdication of the throne by the queen in like a couple days is terrifying, especially because it was absolutely what's his bucket? Mr. Major won it all, so yeah, definitely going to be problematic before things go smoothly. I think we're getting close to the end, though. I know we're in the finale, but now that we're in the palace, like, events are about to kick off. I think we still got a few more episodes in us still, but I do think that it's gonna get serious. So this episode might be the first, like, real serious part. So we'll see how long it goes for. I don't really know exactly what to expect, obviously, so we'll just have to see. I look forward to it. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's get started. There we go. Now, like I said, when I first came out here and I saw how big this place is, like, it looks great, but I'm also going to guess that we're going to have to sneak through it, because it feels like it's built for a stealth mission. Hilda, what business do you have with Her Majesty at this hour? I'm bringing some tea and spoons at her request. The current situation means Her Majesty is denied the right to even go about her daily life as she wishes, after all. Such harsh words. Who are these maids with you? I don't recognize them. His Grace ordered me to hire some additional staff to help. They've only just arrived at the castle today. Actually, a really good lie, because he was talking about how, like, the other staff mentioned how he's been hounding for more staff. Really? Now? Hey, you're pretty cute. That's definitely for her. Thank you. Huh? Well, I don't get the feeling we've met before. Crap. Do you stare so hard at every young lady you see? I do hope you're not thinking of anything untoward thoughts. I'd rather think His Grace and the Colonel would disapprove. Hey, it's not like that. We're the elite of the Royal Army. We wouldn't do that. All's well, then. Now, will you please allow us to pass? Pardon us, ladies. Please go ahead. That was close, Estelle. Too close. Whew, that was intense. Thanks, Hilda. You were a real lifesaver. Yeah, that was really well done. I'm just glad I could help. Now then, are you planning to change your clothes before seeing Her Majesty? If you prefer, I could just show you the way now. I think I'm okay as is. Boy clothes, now! I don't know, man. What if you get interrupted? I'll put it low. Why are you always so self-conscious? Seriously? What's wrong with what you had on? It's not an issue of self-consciousness. By the way, Hilda, is this room what I think it is? Yes, it's Princess Claudia's bedroom. But she rarely sleeps in the castle, so the room is all but unused. Huh, no kidding. But I heard the princess was tending to the queen. I guess that's just gossip then. You'd have to ask Her Majesty for the full details. Her room is on the second floor of the royal keep. I'll take you there. Alright. Any interesting things we can notice right here? So we obviously don't want to leave. Okay. Nothing of note. Anything hidden under the stairs? No. Only one place to go. I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. I've brought the two I spoke of before. This is Joshua and Estelle. Thank you kindly. By all means, enter. As you wish. I'll wait for you here. You two go on in. Right. Pardon us. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. She doesn't look sick at all. I bid you welcome. My name is Alicia Vion Osleas. Oslesia. I am 26th monarch of the nation of Liberl. Bow, bow. I'm Estelle Bright. I'm a junior bracer of the Bracers Guild. And I'm Joshua Bright of the same affiliation. It's a great honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Estelle and Joshua, I have truly been looking forward to meeting you both. I regret that I cannot offer you a proper hospitality, but I have prepared some tea. Please have some and relax. I see. So Professor Russell asked you to bring this information. A pitch-black orbment capable of negating all other orbital energies. And you say the Colonel has acquired it. The Professor told us you might have some idea of what he intends to do with it, Your Majesty. Can you tell us anything? I have but a vague idea. I did not think the Colonel even knew of it. Perhaps I am worrying about nothing, but even so. Excuse me, but what is the vague idea you have? I suppose there's no harm in telling you. Roughly 10 years ago, a massive orbital reaction was detected beneath Gransel. Professor Russell was the individual who came to investigate. Huh? Did that happen in the vicinity of the sewers? No, far deeper underground than that, in fact. Professor Russell was under the impression it might have been a relic of ancients that still functioned. Interesting. So, something well beyond, underneath the castle responded. What if, okay, I don't think this is the case, but what if the Major was actually right the whole time? Wouldn't it be crazy? We're like, oh, conspiracy, trying to take everything. But what if there is an enemy using this, like, an ancient orbital, like, weapon type device to, like, burrow, like, deep underground and causing, like, a massive tunnel that they've dug through underneath the entire empire, and they're gonna, like, come up underground and attack it by surprise? Especially because 10 years ago during the war, it kind of would have made sense because, like, the walls were being impenetrable at the time, right? The war, like, Liberl as a nation had mostly fallen, but the Gransel itself was so heavily defended they couldn't take it. So it almost makes sense that they would try to burrow underneath. If they had a device that was very, very powerful, like boring machine, they might be able to do it. And the Black Orbal could be used to shut such a device down. Perhaps it even was used for that. But what if someone tried to reactivate the machinery? And that could be our only major defense for it. And so the Major, although he's taking things really into his own hands, is only doing so because he knows no one will believe him. And so he's, like, genuinely actually doing whatever it takes to defend the nation, even though it really, like, it's an abuse of power for him to do so. That'd be such a weird twist. Wow. So it was a bona fide artifact then. Most artifacts I know of have lost their function, like the mechanisms on top of the towers. But even now and again, you find one that still functions, like Mayor Dalmore's family heirloom. And something like that is beneath Gransel. So, what does that tell us about the gospel? Maybe it could be used to halt the artifact's functions? Could it do that? Yes. However, we were unable to establish the nature of the artifact, or indeed why it was buried beneath the city. But it's beyond my imaginings how the Colonel could know of its existence. Professor Russell's research on it was kept strictly confidential and off the record. I see. Oh, you know, it might have been buried in the computer core, but he also was acting before that, so maybe not. In any event, it seems likely the trouble's on its way. Honestly, just as I start to think that maybe the Colonel may be a slightly nicer guy than we give him credit for. But when someone's trying to stir up some trouble, that's when us bracers come in. We won't let him get away with whatever evil scheme he's trying to pull off. I'd expect no less from Cassius's daughter. Huh? You're acquainted with our father, Your Majesty? He was a friend of my late son's and a great savior to the nation. Even after he retired from the army, he would sometimes undertake requests from me. Really? I didn't know that. I imagine there are some great many things about him that you do not know, including the precise role he played in the war 10 years ago. I assume you have not been told? Well, nothing super detailed. Perhaps then that is the role I am meant to play. Estelle and Joshua, Will you indulge me by listening to an old story? Oh, yes, absolutely. There's no indulgence, Your Majesty. Oh, spicy. 10 years ago in the spring, a tragedy occurred in the southern reaches of the Erebonian Empire. It causes yet unknown, so that is something I must omit. The Empire used the event as a pretext for their invasion of Liberl. So began the sad times that would become known as the 100 Days' War. Oh, they have tanks. I didn't know they did orbital tanks already. I kind of figured that was like weaponry in the future, honestly. Just as the Empire made its declaration of war, a massive military force breached the Hacken Gate. In what seemed like scant moments, all of Liberl became occupied territory save for Gransel. It is said the invasion force was 3 times the size of the entire Royal Army. The reinforcements from Clouvard were too late to stop their advance. It is but a matter of time before Gransel too would fall. Good grief, look at that. But 2 months after the outbreak of hostilities, the war changed in a way that none could have imagined. Right, the airships. Patrol airships had just been deployed and were used to recapture Liberl's checkpoints, serving the Imperial Army's communications. The Royal Army then sent about recapturing major regions one by one, using ships launched from Lestian Fortress. Zeiss, Rouen, Bose, Roland. With their supply lines severed, the Erebonian forces occupying each region were swiftly crushed. Oh. Oh no. Wait a minute. Estelle's mom, she died, and the way they describe it was she died when the clock tower collapsed, right? So what if it wasn't the Erebonian Empire that did that? What if, and the reason why he retired was because he was ordering these attacks to retake the land, right? So Roland falls under control relatively quietly. There's no military to defend them. So when a military rolls in, everyone kind of locks down their houses and just kind of waits. See what would happen. But it's still to function. They have to go to town, they have to go buy food, everything. So their mom goes to town. It just happens to be on the day when the Air Force comes back to take Roland back. And they do so by bombarding it. And when they do that, it ends in a couple of civilian casualties. The Cassius kind of signed away saying, like, look, we might lose some casualties, but if it means winning the war, it's worth it. And then he discovers when he goes back that one of the civilian casualties was his own wife. And it broke him. And that's why he retired from the military, because he couldn't bear the thought of accident, like he had cheapened life in order to make the greater good occur, not realizing how severely that cost could end up paying people until it was his and his family. And so then he stepped away from war. Interesting. Anyway, we'll continue. And the one behind his plan for a counter-offensive was none other than Colonel Cassius Bright. It was your father, who was General Morgan's right-hand man at the time, as well as Colonel Richard's superior officer. Afterwards, with the intercession of the Bracer Guild and the Septium Church, the war was brought to an end. But it was at this time that Cassius lost what he treasured most of all in the world. Lena, your mother, Estelle. That clock tower was destroyed by the Imperial Army's vain attempt to hold back the counteroffensive. Okay. So she says it wasn't. It was the Imperial Army's. So it kind of was his fault, but not as much as I was thinking. Like, he might see it as his fault, but it really wasn't. It was the Imperial Army fighting back. What followed, I am sure you know. Cassius was not able to be by his wife's side in her final moments. No. I had no idea. And he believed the military operation that he himself had planned effectively caused her death. Blaming himself, he left the military and took up the path of the Bracer. Okay, so I was kind of right. I just made it far worse than what it actually was. All to stay with the only one he had left. You. And this time, he swore he would be able to protect those he loved. Dad, that idiot. That wasn't his fault Mom died. How could he even think that? Estelle. Yes, you are correct. Given that all he lost in his service of his country, the responsibility falls upon me. And so, I am sorry, Estelle. I failed to protect your mother. This is proper leadership right here. I've said it in a lot of other videos before, but like the tenets, what I do believe personally, make the best leaders. Unfortunately, they're not very common traits in people who try to get power. But the best leaders are leaders who never ask somebody else to do what they themselves would not be willing to do, who are willing to take the blame for things that they could not have controlled, but do so because they understand the role that their leadership plays in the actions of all those whom they are directing, both like specifically and indirectly. And finally, accepting like the fact that they are still human, and the need to keep that proper perspective. I have wished to apologize to you for a long time. But you don't need to apologize. You protected the peace of this country ever since the war ended. The peace that Dad and all the other soldiers who defended Liberl in the war fought so hard to protect. And the peace that Mom gave her life so I could live in it. You have nothing to be sorry for. Estelle, you have a kind heart, and I am grateful. It gladdens my heart to have finally met you in person. Now more than ever. Your Majesty? However, that is why I do not wish you to put yourself in danger. I would like you to remove yourself from any dealings on this matter. What? But Julia, Lieutenant Schwartz asked us to help you. I thank you. I am grateful for your willingness to do so. But if some tragedy were to befall Cassius' absence, I know of no apology that could ever suffice. I only ask you go back to your home in Roland and wait for your father to return. But, if I may, Your Majesty, the peace that Dad restored and that you protect, though it has held firm, now trembles as a leaf in the breeze. Joshua, if the Colonel is about to use the gospel for whatever purpose he intends, and if he succeeds in making the Duke the new King Liberl, then what will become of the peace? I only ask that you consider that. Your Majesty? Right, when we became junior bracers, we inherited a whole lot of work from Dad. After the Sky Bandit incident, we got that letter and that package, and we've been running all around creation ever since. It feels to us like our dad's been nudging us to get in the back the whole time. That's why I want to defend the peace, so that everyone we've met and everyone we cared about can go on living a secure and happy lives. Just like you, and just like Mom and Dad. I'm doing this because it's what I believe is right, and I believe what I want to see it through. Estelle. It seems she was right about you. Huh? I, too, am ready. I would like for the two of you to carry my request to the Bracers Guild. Your Majesty! My liege, we will do whatever you ask. My request is for the Bracers Guild to rescue those being held captive by the Intelligence Division. Amongst them is my granddaughter, Claudia. Aha! So the princess is being held captive somewhere. Yes, this coup d'etat how do we say that right? Coup d'etat. The coup d'etat started when I backed her as the successor to the throne. Oh, fetch me! So she said, she's like, she was pushed and finally was forced to be like, fine, I'll abdicate and I'll make her my successor. And he's like, nope, not gonna do that. In other words, Duke Dunnan was out of the running. Yes, though he is my nephew, he is possessed of a considerable number of character flaws. In brief, where he is lacking, my granddaughter shines. For the sake of this nation's future, I would have my granddaughter succeed me. Well, I don't actually know her, but I personally lean toward the idea that your judgment should really be trusted here. No matter the era, there will always be those who object strongly to a woman wielding political power. Not to mention the memory of the invasion by a larger power is still relatively fresh. Some of them will perceive a succession of 2 consecutive queens to be a sign of weakness. It is hardly surprising that such a notion has taken root in the minds of some. Dang, man, that sucks. Probably true, though. If my playthroughs of Crusader Kings 3 and 2 have said anything about this. Some, including Colonel Richard, I presume? Quite right. Claudia's pending succession to the throne caught him quite unawares. That, along with his passing of this information to the Duke, is what led to this coup. This was all staged so that Liberl would become a strong military power, with the Colonel ruling from the shadows. I see. That finally lets us see the whole picture. So, if Liberl became a militarized country, what would happen then? Oh, well, it probably would to try to justify on other nations to claim new territory. Covertly or overtly or covertly. The other things that would likely happen is military support would go up, as in like spending and funding. And with the way things are going, like I said, like if he isn't going to do it like in the immediate future, I think he plans to diminish, repress, and eventually expel the Bracers Guild. He sees them as beyond his control, thus he sees them as a dangerous entity, especially because individuals from other nations can come in and out of different borders, so he sees that as a security risk. It grade many things. Taxes would be levied to fill the war chest. Orbal weaponry would be developed with the express intent of causing havoc on a massive scale. Sorry, that cough. A wide range of policy of conscription would be adopted. And no doubt contracting Jaeger Corps would be made illegal, which is not the case at the present. Oh no! Indeed, the Colonel has made very adamant requests that I enact such policies. I thought such proposals were born out of a genuine love for his country, but I never agreed that they were the right course of action to take. The Royal Army is not all that protects this land. We have worked hard to maintain treaties with other countries. Defending a nation goes hand in hand with free cultural exchange and trade with all other nations, to the benefit of all. I feel the same way, Your Majesty. I do too! I agree! Yeah, makes sense to me. The Colonel, however, finds such notions to be womanly and foolishly idealistic. And so he demands I abdicate the throne in exchange for Claudia's safe return. Fetch. Yeah, I agree. Estelle, just anger. Many people have family members taken to ensure they would not dare to oppose the Colonel. Oh my gosh, so that's it. It's not just the Royal Guard that's there and Claudia. It's all his political potential rivals. But I am the Queen, and I will not allow that all I love about my country to be destroyed simply because of blood ties. Still, she is my only granddaughter. I cannot simply allow her to die. Your Majesty, please try to relax. Will we hear and comply with your request? We will see to it that the princess is rescued from those who have imprisoned her. Thank you, both of you. With that reassurance, I will do what I can to oppose the Colonel's demands. Have you any other requests, Your Majesty? The gospel still has to be dealt with, and I don't think we should just leave you here. I appreciate your sentiment, Estelle, but the present state of affairs is not contingent upon my freedom or imprisonment. The gospel shall continue to weigh heavily on my mind for a great many reasons. For my part, I will attempt to ascertain the Colonel's true intentions with it. This took a turn I didn't expect. Wow, what a totally awesome person. Super nice, but with a seriously strong will. I hope I'm even 1/10 as cool when I get older. Cool. Did you actually just call the Queen that? Still, she definitely has what it takes to govern a whole country. Yeah, I really want to stop this coup thing from happening. And help her. Definitely outside of Bracer jurisdiction. Well, first things first, we can do whatever we can. Right. But you know, I'm still freaking out about what the Queen told us about Dad. I wonder if she's got any more tidbits she'd be willing to share. Uh-oh. Estelle and Joshua, have you finished changing? Oh, yeah. Then we should return to the waiting room at once. It's already after 11 o'clock, actually. Or actually, it's already almost midnight. Wow, is it really that late? The Queen spoke with us for a long time. If we stay any longer, it's apt to make the guards suspicious. I have a feeling they already are. This can't go well. Are you going home for the day, Miss Hilda? Yes, I believe so. Just be sure not to do Her Majesty any further discourtesy. That's not fair. But please relax, we are patriots to the core. That's good to hear. Now I believe that we shall be on our way. Pardon me. By your leave. By the way, ladies. Huh? I don't think we ever got your names. May we ask them? Why do we get a choice here? Do we have to remember? Dorothy, Shara, or Lena. We know a Shara, and we know a Dorothy. Lena, but I think the biggest thing we have to do is remember it, right? I'd say Shara would be the safer one, but I'm gonna go with Lena. My, isn't that a lovely name? It has a pleasant ring to it. Thank you very much. And how about you, miss? You may call me Karen. Karen, you say? That's a very pretty name. You are too kind, sir. I'm rather fond of it myself. Are you now? Oh, right. We're in the special ops. My name is... I think that's just about enough. You sense an ulterior motive at work? No, I mean, at least not from us. Please, be safe on your way home. That went so much better than I thought. That went so much better. That was amazing. And I like how Joshua apparently has a feminine enough voice he can actually pull it off. Well, aren't you Mr. Popularity? It was like their eyes all changed when you told them your name. Hey, it was not. I didn't see you shying away from joining the conversation. Sure, but that doesn't mean I wasn't nervous. I think I lost all my confidence there. Huh? What's all this noise about? Oh, fetch. Oh, Duke Dunnan. Ah, Lady of the Clat. Hey, you maids. You don't look familiar. These are two of the new hires whom I'm instructing. This is Lena, and that's Karen. They are still quite inexperienced, so I'm giving them some extra training time. Yeah, he's pretty sharp. Did he recognize us? Not good. Given how many times we've run into him, it's bizarre if he didn't recognize us. Come now, Philip. Enough with the staring. Ha ha ha! It's quite unusual to see that coming from you, stiff upper lip and all. Please pardon my rudeness. You look much like my niece. My eyes were playing tricks on me, it seems. I am dreadfully sorry for the discourtesy. Oh, it's no bother. Please don't concern yourselves. You know, now that I stop and look, I must say you both are quite lovely. You with the brown hair, you have a very healthy, clean look to you. As for you, I personally think you'd look best with the raven hair of yours even longer. I am honored. Yes. Lena, was it not? You shall attend me to me this evening. Your Grace. Ew, I don't want to serve him tea. I don't think tea is what he wants served. Oh gosh! Your Grace, your flirtations, while flattering, are best saved for another time and place. All the maids in the castle work directly in service of Her Majesty, Queen Alicia. I trust you have not forgotten. I know. Some folks just simply can't appreciate a joke. The castle will be mine in a week's time, anyway. We can set aside time for some fun then. It's so true to form, and sadly, it's so true to form. It's so a thing that happened, and even with the Elite today, happens. Private islands and all. But still, it's like, Your Grace, please no more of this. You do not mind when you drink to excess, but you know how your libido gets so in such instances. I say this, knowing full well that I may be reprimanded for But I said I was just joking. Enough, I'm going to bed. As you wish, Your Grace. Your room is right over there. Oh, Philip, you might be the thing saving us from disaster. Whoa, oh, right. Lena, you just let me know if you have any problems. Anything at all. I'll give you the best advice the future king can give. Thank you very much. Haha, you're cute. Yes, good. I'm gonna kill him. Let me at him! I apologize unreservedly for all the fuss. His Grace will likely remember nothing of this come morning. Please set your mind at ease. I should certainly hope so. I am truly sorry. Madame and young missus, I beg your pardon, but I must take my leave. Poor Philip. Poor Philip. I feel so badly for him. He truly seems to bear the weight of the world on his shoulders. Oh, do you know Mr. Philip personally? Yes, ever since we were children. Though not nearly as well as we once did, thanks to the one he serves. I see. He sure seems like he's nervous all the time, doesn't he? I bet that's everything between the Duke and the Colonel has him completely on edge. Probably, yeah. By the way, what was that you were saying earlier about me being the popular one? The Duke certainly seemed awfully fond of you. Please! I'd like to keep my food in my stomach, thank you. Oh, right, but back to before. I feel like we're missing something. Why would the Duke want tea so late? Well, you see... Estelle, allow me to educate the matter of tea and why gentlemen should never request it in polite company. Huh? Come closer. Whisper, 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 whisper. Hilda whispers something into Estelle's ear. Now, do you understand? Yes. Hopeless. Completely hopeless. Thanks for everything, both of you. If not for you, I don't know what we'd have done. Please, it was the least we could do for Her Majesty's service. I only ask you complete the request she made of you. I feel the same way. I beg of you, do everything in your power to save the princess. Oh, are you one of her royal retainers? Yes, I regret that I rarely get the chance to serve her directly. She's also so kind and open. She always treated me with more like a friend than a servant. The thought of her being held captive against keeps me up at night. I understand. Well, you can rest easy now that we're on the job. We'll save her. Shall we be going? Alright, two of you. Have a good night. Poor Estelle. Poor Estelle. I'm surprised. I thought she was gonna go to rage. Uh-oh. What, might I inquire, are you doing at this late hour? Oh boy. Captain Ameletha. Good evening. I realize you've been invited here, but don't you think it's a bit late for you kids to be walking around? Please pardon us. We've simply never been in a castle like this. We couldn't resist the urge to look around. Oh, that's certainly understandable. So, where were you half an hour ago? Please enlighten me, if only for my own edification. What do I freaking say? I mean, I think our best course would be the maid's quarters because they could corroborate it, I think. So, that's my main guess. The administration room, obviously no. Royal guard room, obviously no. Cellar, possibly, can't be as corroborated. Kitchen, super corroborative, not a good idea. I admire your honesty. So let's not waste time on games. I did in fact receive several reports of you going in and out of the maid's quarters. Do you not think it a bit odd to be looking around in that particular place? What? You don't think that questioning someone like that when you already have the facts is a little cruel? I'll take that as a compliment. So, what business have you in the maid's quarters? I suggest you asked her honestly. Well, Oh, Estelle, Joshua. You've been here this whole time? Yes! Zin! Zin. Yeah, clutch. Oh, now that's the stuff. You're drunk. Oops, sorry. Hey, if it ain't my favorite gorgeous office lady. Nice, some luck we have been up again, huh? I suppose. So, what's going on? Are my students here causing any trouble? Students? No, just that they were in a maid's quarters for a while. I merely want to know their business simply as a security precaution. Yeah, I totally get you. I just sent them to find some munchies to go with my booze. Hey, Joshua, you kids find anything to eat? No, the cooks aren't back yet, I guess. We went to go ask the maid if there was any way we could get our hands on something, but no luck. Oh well, I'll have to do without, I guess. Oh, that could have saved us if we had said kitchen or cellar as well, because then it'd be like, oh, we were looking for food. So yeah, the only two that would have been terrible, I think, would have been the two places that are blatantly locked away. Hey, I just had a great idea. You want to come and join me for a drink? I mean, hey, nothing goes with drinks like a beautiful lady. I'm afraid I'm busy, so you'll have to decline your generous offer. My apologies for the misunderstanding, but I would advise you to return to your rooms and remain there for the rest of the night. I have to investigate any suspicious activity, you understand? Of course! It is late, we should probably just go to bed. Huh. Very good then. Now if you'll excuse us. Whew, that was close. Ooh, terrifying. Aw, denied. Oh well, might as well just go back to the room. Right. We'll go with you. Looks like we managed to convince her at least. What? Finn, you aren't actually drunk? I was acting drunk. I haven't had a single drop. No way, your face had even gone red. He focused on making his blood circulate better, which made it look like he was intoxicated. It's done some kind of Eastern martial arts breathing exercise, right? Huh? I'm surprised you're familiar with it. But hey, you seem to be in a tight spot, so I figured I'd distract everyone. Nice, huh? Saved your bacon, as the saying goes. You are an evil, evil man, Sin. Okay, sure, you did help us out, but you also surprised the hell out of me. Ha ha, sorry about that. So, what's the story? What story? I would have thought it obvious. The story of you meeting with the Queen. Fetch me! Whoa, wait, what? How did you... Did Elnan tell you something about this? Actually, I couldn't get him to tell me anything. But now I know anyway, don't I? Without prior knowledge, there's no way you could have just guessed. So how much do you really know? Haha. I guess it's finally time to show you this. Zin produced a letter from the pocket and handed it to Estelle and Joshua. What's this? I know this handwriting. Well, don't just stand there. Read it. Was it Cassius? It'll explain a lot. Okay. Dear Zin Vathek, hope this letter finds you well. I know I've been out of touch. I'm in a hurry, so I'll hope you pardon my bluntness. My work concerning the Jaegers is leading me into Imperial territory. However, due to the fact that unusual forces seem to be influencing matters inside Liberl, I feel uneasy about being absent for so long. And so I must ask a favor of you. Could I persuade you to come to Liberl and help out if they need it? Since you haven't been to Liberl before, perhaps you could think of it as a recreational trip. There's a martial arts competition before the Queen's birthday celebration, and foreigners can participate. It would make a fine camouflage. I realize this is sudden, but if you can do it, I would be most grateful. I'm intending to return to Liberl before the festival, so hopefully we'll be able to have a drink together when I return. Cassius Bright. I knew it! P.S. You had the chance to meet my son and daughter. They're currently apprentices in the guilds. If you happen to meet them, feel free to test the extent of their training. Try not to bail them out too much, unless it seems they really need it. So Dad actually asked you to come to Liberl, which means he's in Erebonia now. That's the long and short of it. The long and short of it? What it means is that you were a good cahoot to them all along. Kind of a nasty way to put it, don't you think? I owed Master Cassius a favor from the time we spent in Calvard. This letter just gave me the chance to make us square again. I suppose. When did you realize we were his kids? I had a feeling from the outset, once I saw Estelle's techniques with the bow staff. I asked Kilika about it, and that confirmed it. It would have been nice if you'd said something about it to all. We've been worried sick, wondering where Dad's been. I know, and I'm sorry I haven't said anything. But I got the impression from the letter that he was trying to keep his whereabouts a secret. Still, you're definitely his kids, alright. If you can pull off a job as big as sneaking in an audience with the Queen. I suppose so. He knows this much. Wouldn't hurt you to tell him everything, right? I agree, it's probably best to fill Zin in on everything, just in case. He could be an alternative source for the bracers. It's a bit far-fetched to say we could put an end to this whole situation on our own, after all. Estelle and Joshua told how they managed to speak directly with the Queen, as well as the Queen's request for the safe rescue of Princess Claudia. I see. I thought something seemed a little off when everyone was talking at the party. Alright then, I'll help you out with that little request. What, you will? Yep, I think it's the ideal opportunity to settle my debt with Master Cassius. Please let me help. We'd be glad to. Thank you once again. Yes, I wanted him back. Ooh, cutscene. This probably means bad things are about to happen. Where the fetch is this? Oh yeah, oh, this must be deep underground. Dude, wait. Is this another tower? So what if the tower that's underground is like a 5th tower, like the space or time tower? Because we've seen the ones for the other 4 elements. So what if this one, the white tower, being a space tower? And a space tower might specialize in stuff like teleportation or something, right? What if it's underground, and that's what went off during the war, and now he's gaining control of it somehow? What the fetch is going to be happening here? What is this place? Never would have imagined something like this even existed. Yeah, look at that. It looks like it's still functional. I see the light down there. It's larger than I expected. Lieutenant Lawrence, if you would be so kind as to show us the way to the lowest level. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Whoa. Is that some kind of mechanical monster? Well, well. Seems these must be the archaisms. Archaisms. So they must be ancient orbal technologies. Holy crap. He took out that thing in one stroke. You were the quickest to react. You are indeed truly a force to be reckoned with when you don't hold back. You flatter me, sir. Your quick draw technique as well. Well, remarkable to behold. I can see that you've studied under the Divine Blade himself. I am humbled. I still have a ways to go before I can really humble anyone, I'm afraid. But time awaits for no man. The skills I possess now will have to be enough. My strength may be meager, but I must forge this kingdom's future with my own 2 hands. My brave men, the way to the ultimate power is open. A bright new dawn approaches for our beloved Liberl. I expect only the best of each of you. By your orders, sir, we're the special ops, and work as one for the Colonel. For the glory of Liberl! For the glory of Liberl! That's terrifying on so many levels. I understand the situation. You've both performed admirably. I'm amazed you were able to deliver the professor's message to Her Majesty in person. We just got lucky is all. The real question is, how much longer is luck going to be on our side? Yes, we're really going to have to stay focused. If you understood that already, then there's nothing more that I need to tell you. In any case, we can consider Professor Russell's request to be fulfilled. Please accept this as compensation for a job well done. To Queen Alicia? 20,000? I just got like 20,000. Like, what am I supposed to spend this money on? Junior Bracer first class. Yes! Gladiator belt is accessory as a perk. Now then, Zin. I was pure providence, so Cassius invited you here. We need the help of an A-ranked bracer like yourself. No need to even ask. Even I didn't have to debt to repay Cassius. I couldn't possibly stand idle in a situation like this. I'm with you to the end. I knew we could count on you, Zin. By the way, what's this A-rank business? A rank that signifies a full-fledged bracer's full power. There are 7 ranks ranging from G on the bottom to A at the top. So he's the highest rank you can get? Wow, never knew you were such a badass, Zin. Well, I may be A ranked, but I'm still an underling, so to speak. There are 20 A rankers across the continent. But above that, there's only an informal S rank. That one's only granted to bracers who successfully resolve issues on a national scale. And there are only 4 of those in the entire continent. Well, I'm not sure I even want to think about what they can do. Cassius is one. God, you really don't know any of this stuff, do you? One of those 4 is Master Cassius. What? Okay, Joshua, you're not going to tell me you knew about this already, right? Right? Sorry, but yes, I did. He solved a major case for the Republic about 5 years ago. I swear, it's hardly worth even getting upset about anymore. Royal Army soldier, hidden hero, Divine Blade, S-rank bracer. He really is so darn awesome, then how you should be nice of him to come back and take care of this case. You may be right. If he were here with us, perhaps this would never have escalated to the point where a coup d'etat was even possible. Joshua, what's wrong? Just thinking about how strange this is. The whole chain of events apparently started with Dad going off on his trip. It's as if whoever planned this coup was waiting for him to be gone. At least that's my impression I have. Oh. So what you're saying is the coup was planned around his departure for the Empire. That means that whatever's been staged in the Empire might have been planned And we already see that the Colonel has connections to those, to the, what are they called? The Jaegers or whatever? The mercenary guild that he's investigating. Yeah. It looks like Arabonia might be actually working in this whole thing from the get-go. Am I correct? No, I'm sure that would be overthinking things. Can't think of anyone who could possibly manipulate Dad like that without him noticing he was being used. They'd have to know him and his behavior patterns exceptionally well to be able to pull it off. Well, I mean, Colonel Richard did study underneath him. Well, yeah. I never knew what he was up to, even though he was so close. I don't think the Colonel Richard could have ever managed to pull the wool over his eyes. More likely, it's just the two major events happened to overlap with each other. Regardless of the circumstances, we cannot currently rely on Cassius' help. Therefore, I am resolved to prepare for the worst. I believe an emergency conference of the Grand Soul branch of the Bracers Guild is called for. Huh? All the things being equal, we have a request that comes directly from Her Majesty the Queen. The third article of the Bracers Code states that we shall never act in a fashion that interferes with the government. We cannot ignore Her Majesty's request, however, so we must act, but we're no match for the Royal Army as we are. To ask the cooperation of all Bracers and Grand Soul, including Zin, of course. Oh, okay. This, unfortunately, is also going to feed into the whole, like, expel the Bracers, like, storyline that he's going to go for. It's like, the Bracers have risen up in rebellion as terrorists. It's going to play right into his hands, unfortunately. If we come in conflict with the intelligence division, we'll need all the help we can get. Ideally, we should have the cooperation of the other branches. But the checkpoints have been completely sealed off as of today. Ostensibly to foil any potential terrorist activity. What? So basically it amounts to martial law. So the enemy's finally moving to full tilt. This may be to stifle any activity on the part of any Royal Guardsman is hiding, as well as ourselves. If we're going to conduct a rescue operation, we'll have to do it with the resources on hand. Oh, fine. Well, we're up to it. So, do we have a solid idea of where prisoners are being held? That's been on my mind for a while now, actually. I believe the most likely place is the Urbe Royal Villa. That's a building in the forest, right? It would make sense. It's the soldiers are using it under the pretense of counterterrorism, few would question it. And I can't imagine they would want to lock a lady of the royal family in a cell in Lestian Fortress. Considering the armies what army we're going to be going against here, we're more likely solid I'd like a more solid confirmation, however. If we assault the wrong place, we'll have hell to pay for it. Yes, precisely. But in either case, we must assemble any bracers currently in the royal city. Could I ask you to assemble them for me? Any information you could gather while doing so would be much appreciated. If I'm not mistaken, Estelle, you and your friends are acquainted with the reporter, correct? Oh, you mean Niall? Yeah, we should see if he picked up anything significant. Also, we must attempt to enlist the aid of the guardsmen who are in hiding. If you can get them to contact me, that would be greatly appreciated. So, in other words, we need to get in touch with the sister, Julia. She helped us in the investigation before. We should let her know what's going on. So, off to the cathedral, then. There are 4 other bracers in the city: Kurt, Grant, Karna, and Annalise. Check on the bars to their usual hangouts. They may also be in the hotel. If you see them, please instruct them to come back here. Sure thing. Alright, then off we go. Alright. Let's see if there's any other things. Nope. We also have money to spend. So we'll have to see. Alright, let's go try and gather our forces. There's one. Nope. Hey, it's Grant! Well, so this is the big bad champions. I heard you guys spent the night at the castle. Frankly, I'm surprised to see you back so early. Did you eat anything good? Yeah, we did, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Oh, something on your mind. Let's explain the situation at the Queen's request of the Grant. We shouldn't be talking about this in public! Holy crap, you're not pulling my leg, are you? We're not. Every word is true. I'd stake my reputation on it. If Sin's immovable is moved by this, that's proof, all the proof I need. I'll do whatever I can to help. You can count on it. Thanks, Grant. We'll all be meeting at the guild house to plan on strategy as soon as possible. So, if you please, head over there when you can. Understood. Well, go well, friends. I'll catch up with you there. Alright, speaking of which, actually, before we go any further, I want to see what... We got an item. I want to see what it is. It was a belt, right? Gladiator belt. Okay, yeah. So, wait, motivating belt, CP automatically recovers during battle, but it makes your strength go, your defense go down. Strength up, defense goes down. Interesting. Because we have the gladiator headband, which does like a similar thing, but like less than. Interesting indeed. Let's give that to Estelle. That'll be good. I've been instructed to keep Oliver from leaving the embassy premises. I would probably refrain too from acting on his behalf too, at least for the time being. Oh, that's too bad. I was actually I wanted to see if we could get Oliver back. Aha! I wish I could remember the time a little better. It's like there's a thick fog blanketing the whole thing. Oh, hi, Kate. It's good to see you here. Estelle. Hi, Estelle. Hi, Joshua. Oh, Zin's with you too. Did you know we were going to that dinner party at the castle yesterday? That was why these two rookies took on a pretty major assignment. What major assignment? I think it's best we tell you more or less the whole story. Joshua explained the circumstances that led to their request from the Queen. You serious? Of course we are. That's why we really need your help. No, that's not it. I admit I'm shocked at Her Majesty's request for you. But the black ornament that Colonel has, it's real. Kurt? What's wrong? You look awfully pale. Ugh. Fetch me! Oh no. So did he see it, which is why his memory was wiped? Whoa! What in the world? Step away from him. Huh? Oh! Shade! Lift! I'm just gonna knock the memory back in him. What was that? You didn't even touch him and he acted like he got electrocuted. It's a special spirit channeling breathing technique. It allows the user to directly affect the target's body without direct physical contact. I don't like to be so rough, but time isn't exactly on our side. How are you feeling? Oh, wow, actually a lot better. I can't remember every detail, but a good bit of it's coming back. I'm a little unsteady from the shock, but I think I'll be alright. So, what do you remember? Didn't I say before? There was an accident around 3 months ago. You lost your memories while you were working, right? Yes. Someone asked me to check up on those men in black outfits. And then I took something suspicious from them. It was the black ornament. Huh? So the person who gave you the assignment? Yes, was your father, Cassius. Was he the one that sent the package? Oh! It was sent from a guy named Kay, wasn't it? I wasted no time packaging it up and sending it to him. But that's really as far back as I can remember. So, the K in the package was you? Yes. I think I also remember there being a note that said to have Professor Russell analyze it. I get it. The package was delivered to you two. Do you remember anything after that? Anything that happened after you sent off the package? Yes. After I left the port, someone called out to me. And then... It's so good. It's all still one big blur. You're probably best off not pressing your luck. It's likely just caused strain that you can't handle it. Yes, alright. I'm really just amazed I was able to remember anything at all. Which brings us to a bigger question. Who would have done this? Maybe the special ops guys? It's possible. They did use that nasty poison on Agat after all. It's as if they're manufacturing and testing new drugs. Maybe they've made something to cause memory loss. Now that's a cheerful thought. Plus there's a Sky Bandit boss and Maid Downmore to consider. We have to be really careful. I'm sorry, I don't have anything really useful to tell you. I know what Her Majesty asked you to do. I want to help if you'll let me. But are you sure you'll be okay? Sure, my memory may be a sieve, but physically I'm fine. I owe you for your help, so please allow me to make it up to you. You're feeling up to it? Sure. We need all work out a strategy. For now, let's meet back at the guild. Alright, you have my thanks. That took a turn, holy crap! Terrifying. And back to happy music, haha! It's not like we just watched somebody receive their memories after having it been wiped by a possible experimental drug. Nothing could possibly be so weird about that. Ha ha ha! Where's that museum? I need to go to the museum. There he is. Liberl's history is quite long, and more so than a little sordid. It roots to go back more than 1,000 years, as I understand it. Wait, Liberl's only been Liberl for as long as the royal family's been around? So you're telling me the royal family's that old? They are, and I, for one, would love to tour the inside of the castle, see what ghosts I could dig up. You two got to see the inside of it yesterday, did you not? Tell me, what was it like? Well, it felt pretty old and historic, I guess. There was definitely a lot to see in there. but we weren't really given much of a chance to see it. I'm afraid there's nothing we can really tell you that you wouldn't already know. I see, I see. That's too bad. I suppose I'll have to wait until the castle's reopened to the public. Alright. Nothing yet, but I imagine we'll need him later. Considering what my theory is about the, one of the elemental towers being beneath Grand Soul. Like, because that's the thing, is like when you look at the orbments, we'll go ahead and just check this out. When we go to orbments, remember, these elements, it's spaces for the gold ones. Oh, mirage element for the white. Okay. So time, mirage, and space. Okay, so if it was a white tower, then it might be mirage. Interesting. So what would you use a mirage for? Like illusions of some kind. What? Are you looking for Sister Ellen, for a chance? I believe the Archbishop should know her whereabouts. He should be in the sacramental chamber, to the southeast of this room. Southeast. I went southwest. And who might you be? We are members of the Bracers. The Bracers Guild, I mean. We were looking for Sister Ellen. Where are you now? Might I guess you share simplicity with her then? What? With a nun? You? No! He's asking if we know her real identity, Estelle. We're here to for the information he asked us to find. I'm sorry to say she's no longer at the cathedral. She came to say goodbye to me this morning and left. Where to? I mean, do you know where she might have gone? If only I did. I've been close to the royal family for many years, and she's always regarded me as a friend and confidant. But this time, she refused to give me any details. She no doubt wished to keep the church from getting too deeply involved in whatever is occurring. I see. I wouldn't worry, though. She had a light of hope in her eyes as she departed. I'm confident she's not running away to wallow in despair, but for a more noble cause. Well, that's good, at least. But the thing is, we kind of need her to stay in touch with the Royal Guardsmen. We're begging, begging for rain in the desert only gets you sand. We should probably go. Best thing we can do is covertly keep an eye out for other Royal Guardsmen. Not the most efficient plan, but it seems all we got. You seem to be between a rock and a hard place, as they say. Always remember that Adios helps those who help themselves. Do all you can, and Adios will surely take care of the rest. Hard and honest work will always lead you down the right path. I hope so. I hope so. Because, man, does it feel like we keep running into freaking bad luck. Good luck at times, but mostly bad luck. So, is there another bar I don't remember? Oh, that's cute. Alright, so I was kind of just like passively going through, but like you hit this girl, she's like, my mind's been thinking about something all day, but you won't tell me what it is. He's been such a meanie, time to bust out the pouty face. And then because we've watched him like tour all around the country, and then he says, I looked all over town, and the best place to pop the question is right in front of the gates, I think. Yeah, so he's gonna propose to her. That's really sweet. It's one of those things where like, I do read the conversations between everything, but like, I don't always like make time for it just because it would take way too much away from like everything we do. But yeah, I'm just like, it gets very sweet to see their story kind of come to fruition that way. There we go. This is weird, Chief. We haven't heard anything in 2 days. Well, he does tend to get completely wrapped up when he's looking for his next big story. But given how close we are to a state of martial law, I don't much like that he hasn't contacted us either. Another hit and miss, it looks like. Oh, hi, guys. Hello, Dorothy. Pardon us. Oh, it's you. Perfect timing. Good afternoon. We're here to talk to Niall, but I'm guessing he's not around. That's what we were just talking about. Actually, Niall hasn't showed up here today or yesterday. No word from him or anything. Huh? Yesterday or today. We spoke with him the evening 2 days ago. Really? What do you mean, really? You gave us the message to meet him for Adios' sake. We came here to talk to him after the semifinals. Oh, right, now that you mention it. So, did he say anything to you? Like, where he was going? Let's see, we went to dinner, and he's out researching an article, but someone had just called him. Right, I remember what happened. He got a call from someone and then said he had to leave. Are you serious? Yes. We haven't seen him, hide nor hair of him since. Oh no, I can't believe Neil's dead. Wow, who said he was dead? Today's when the airline and traffic gets shut down. Everything was normal yesterday, though, so maybe he went for another province. I already inquired at the landing port's passenger registry, and there's no sign of him. So I figured he could still be somewhere in town. You two were the last ones to see this reporter fellow? Weren't you talking to him about something for the news article? Huh? These are times we live in. Controlling the media is a big deal for the military. What do you think, Chief? I certainly can't argue with that. Particularly in a case of intelligence division. They monitor and censor everything we do. You wouldn't believe how frustrating it is. Which means you can't get much information for your stories. But it's a reporter's nature to want to get as much as possible into their hands of the readers. I see. So you went to check out a new subject the intelligence division hasn't started censoring yet? What was the last thing you told us about? I think it was about... The arranged marriage was definitely a big part of it. Yeah, it was that. And the Duke mentioned something about the dinner party. Oh, Niall told you about that too. I'd make a hell of a story if it's true. You mentioned having to get some evidence at any cost. How did a reporter like Niall even learn about something like that? I'd have thought something like that would be known only to the royal family. Well, he did say his friends are someone who works at the Arboreal Villa. Completely off record, but the terrorists are supposedly after the princess. So she's secretly staying in the villa for her own safety. We could have found this out from her this whole time? I knew it! Huh, and the veil is lifted. Maybe the person he was talking to is his friend in the villa, which would mean Niall's probably there too. You don't say. Well, if I know Niall, he's probably tried to worm his way for an interview with the princess. And if the soldiers saw him, they'd have him arrested on the spot. No, Niall's a goner. Why do you keep coming back to that? But if he has been arrested, getting him out isn't going to be easy. Yeah, I'm betting he and the Princess Claudia are pretty much in the same situation. What exactly do you people know? Do you have insider information about what's going on in the city, in all of Liberl? Sorry, but we really can't talk about it. Just let the Bracers Guild take care of Niall. If he's been arrested, we'll see to it that he's released. All right. Please do whatever you can. Please, you guys. You gotta bring Niall back. Leave it to us. Well, fetch me. At least we know where he probably is. And maybe that's where the nun lady is as well. Maybe she got a tip off from him, like maybe a late delivery or something, to explain where she was, which is why she was so excited. Because she figured out where the princess was being kept. Alright, well, that's pretty much everybody. Where the fetch are the other two? Two more guild members. Where are they? Ah, here's one. Well, if it isn't Zin and our new recruits. Back from the castle already? Well, yeah, I guess we are. Annalise, could we have a moment of your time? You have something juicy you want to share with me? Well, if by juicy you mean spill the juice all over you in shock, then yeah. It's really a juice bomb. Ooh, you have my undivided attention. Should we be talking about this here, or should we be sitting down for it? Huh? Just to make it absolutely clear, this is not a joke. Things could get serious in a big hurry, and if they do, we'll need your help. Let's see. Sorry, my head's just a little scrambled from how screwed up this whole situation is. I don't really get all of this, but you want everyone to meet up at the guild house, right? Right, and then we'll fill you in on all the details. Okay then, I'll go see what's up. Right, who's the last one? Where will she be? Ooh, Liberl News 9. I had the idea to check, and I'm glad I did. Alright, let's read the news. Liberl News 9. Feature story, victors decided. Oh, look, it's us! When the last of the special ops unit slowly sank to their knee, the referee raised his hand, the entire arena erupted in fanfare. The competition, which got up to a rocky start after the change from single to team matches, had yet another unforeseeable surprise awaiting eager fans in the form of team of unlikely victors led by Zin Vathek of the Calvard Republic. Was there anyone out who could have anticipated such a feat? Martial artist, two bracers, and a musician. An unheard of combination, to say the least. Yet this is the group that advanced to the finals and took the crown by defeating the elite of the Special Operations Unit. It just goes to show that it's not over till it's over. The winning team's members continue to work effectively by leveraging their individual talents in complementary harmony with one another, playing off each other's strengths. The competition itself was an event replete with powerful, heated battles and unique team dynamics, which ended explosively to thunderous ovation. The Liberl News wishes to honor the valiant efforts of those who participated in this year's proceedings. Winning team invited to royal banquet. In the ceremony held at the conclusion of the competition, the winning team was awarded a cash prize of 100,000 mira and an invitation to the royal banquet. This formal dinner will be hosted by Duke Dunnan von Allis. The mayors of each city and other various persons of influence are scheduled to attend. Society. The Queen shows signs of recovery. Liberl News have been informed that Her Majesty the Queen, who has been recuperating, is expected to return to her official duties soon. The anniversary celebration, which was in danger of being postponed, will now be assuredly be conducted on schedule. In recent days, with unsettling news becoming the norm, it is certainly wonderful to receive such joyous tidings. Society. Intelligence Division steps up defense. The search for the officers of the ex-royal guard accused of acting as ringleaders in a series of terrorist-related incidents has proven to be an onerous one, and after making little headway, the Intelligence Division decided to station members of their unit within the royal city. In a move to further step up defensive measures, all security positions covering Granslow Castle are expected to be regulated to the same unit. Oh no, all of them are going to be in charge of all the security. Society. Ancient dragon sighted? Reports have made their way to our news desk regarding the sighting of an enormous silhouette making its way across the sky above Renault village, located in the northern part of the Bose region. Public speculation revolves around whether or not the object in question is in fact an ancient dragon which has been living in the world since before the Great Collapse. According to statements by a number of researchers, the Bose region was the last place an ancient dragon had been sighted. Given further credence to the claim, as the great creature may still presently be living among us. Research concerning the ancient dragon has also begun to take leaps in the public spotlight as of late. Those purported sightings have, of course, only fueled researchers' excitement. Interesting. So, is that a response to the kid who saw, like, the airship that we tracked down way back then? Or could this be another... my next guess would be, but not being an actual dragon, but what if it's an airship that Cassius is bringing in to kind of... Maybe he's going to swoop in at the last second and help reinforce us at the last hour. That'd be pretty sweet. Alright. Still, though, not sure where the last girl is. Yeah, I've found pretty much everywhere except Canis, whatever her name is, the one with the dark hair. That I thought was definitely the prettiest of all the other bracers we've run into. That's usually my favorite, but she's definitely the prettiest one. Oh my gosh, she was here the whole time. Gosh darn it! I came in here 3 times and didn't even look upstairs. I'm so dumb. Hi, Karna. Hey, look who it is. Ooh, you got old man Zin with you? What's going on? Well, it's a long story. Uh-oh, sounds serious. Explain the situation at the Queen's request to Karna. You're not just pulling my leg, are you? I must admit, I did find it a bit odd that the gates and ports have been shut down. So, what do you want with me exactly? Well, we just need to get everyone together and formulate a plan. So if you would, please meet us at the guild. Gotcha. I'm already there. Alright. Well, that took way longer than you know, because I cut it all out. It's boring. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and end things here. It's been a long episode. We got a lot going on. We did all the finding. We kind of got all the ducks in a row. So next week, we're going to start us off with a plan to go and try and rescue everybody trapped in the villa. So I'm sure things are going to get real exciting. I always say that, but it just keeps ramping up and up and up and up. It's just what this story's good at. So I'm really grateful and excited to be able to do that with all of you. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves with this episode. And you know, as we continue to wind through the story, like, I keep trying to decide, like, what's the next thing to see on the horizon? What's the next big hurdle we're going to have? And I think this heist is going to be really good, but it's going to be used to fuel the anti-bracer, like, sentiment, and it's going to make things real dicey. And then I still have my theories that, like, what's way down below is a still functional tower, like the towers we've been seeing. It makes sense that they've been parading these towers to us and kind of showcase how each, like, seems tied to an elemental focus. To finally have one that's way underground that's still functional makes a lot of sense. And then you also think about, too, like, so if these things are like super orbals where they can project, it makes me think again, like, what if you took the black orbment, stuck it on the top of a tower, and used it to make a massive, like, detonation, essentially? Essentially kind of recreating what I assume has caused the Great Collapse in the first place, which just shuts down all orbital technology in an entire country all at once. I don't know why he would do that. So it's almost making me wonder if he's being manipulated into it. This is like, what if the Erebonian Empire is about to invade? They've been coordinating with him secretly. And like they've used even these mercenaries to get in and get his trust, so they're going to activate the device, shut down Liberl entirely, and then swoop in from the north. I can see that happening. I don't know what. I also think I'm curious to know more about what was the event that happened in the Empire that preceded the invasion. Like, what was that? Because that seems very strange. That like they would have a tragic event that would then be immediately responded with an invasion. Like it's an odd connection. Unless the tragic event was like some kind of like action by Liberl, like the people or of Liberl themselves, you know, like an actual terrorist attack. Maybe that's why they're using terrorism as a shield. Like it's a tried true formula that they saw happen before. So yeah, we'll have to see. But regardless of all that, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel and for being a part of everything that's here, especially the conversation. It means the best. It means the most to me to hear your thoughts and be able to kind of like banter back and forth and kind of hear your thoughts and questions and being able to respond. But most importantly, thank you to the patrons and members to make it possible for me to continue to grow the channel, to give me the resources to be able to make things better. I strive every day to live worthy of your support, and I hope I can continue to do so. But until the next video, watching me, if you see me next, I'll see you there.